Morning campers, welcome back to the channel. Right, bit of an early start this morning. I've got a bit of a road trip ahead of me. I'm off to the Microlight trade show at Popham Airfield. So I've got 127 miles to go. I think today's going to be a good day, so stick around. So panic not, don't worry, I'm not going to film the entire 127 miles of this journey. I am going to stop on the way down though for a bit of breakfast, probably somewhere about Oxford, and I'll tell you a little bit more on the way down about Popham and its history and about the trade show. I did half consider for a second flying down to Popham from Darley Moor. I'm sure the Flywlight 9 would have been more than capable and more than up to it. Whether I'd have been capable is another question. It would have been a 250 mile round trip though, so I've only got today, and it would have meant if I'd have flown down that I'd have spent a good few hours in the air, which would have limited the amount of time I've actually got to spend walking around the show. As seeing as I've never been to this show before, I really wanted to maximise my time there and have a good poke around and see what's there. So me and Hugo are hitting the road. So as I join the yawn fest that is the M1 motorway, I'm going to stick on some music, chill out for a little bit, and I will join you probably somewhere around Oxford for a bite to eat.
A few moments later.
Well, as you can see, we've had a bit of a change in the weather. This wasn't forecast, I don't think. Visibility is shocking. It's certainly going to be an issue to anybody that's flying into Popham this morning. We'll have to see. We'll speak to some pilots when we get there, see how they got on. But definitely weather to be on the road rather than in the air.
I've just pulled into the Golden Arches. I'm going to warm myself up, empty my bladder, have something to eat, and whilst I'm doing that I'll tell you a little bit about where we're going.
Popham Airfield is an unlicensed airfield located 6 nautical miles southwest of Basingstoke in Hampshire in the UK. In the early 1970s, a strip of land alongside the A303 road was purchased by Jim Espin, who was a member of the Hampshire section of the Popular Flying Association. With the help of fellow members, the land was cleared, levelled, seeded and transformed into an airstrip, and the original strip is now the 2608 runway of the present airfield. In 1978, the airfield was purchased by Charles Church, who was an avid collector of Spitfires. A second runway was added and the airfield was expanded to include additional hangars. Today, Popham is one of the busiest general aviation grass airfields in the south of England. It's home to around 150 light aircraft, including vintage, Second World War aircraft, and an active membership of around 550 members. The airfield is home to Airbourne Aviation flight training, which offers training in a fleet of Icarus C-42 aircraft and also tailwheel training in a Eurofox. The school also operates the world's only manufacturer-approved C-42 flight simulator. Other activities on the airfield include model and drone flying with the Popham Aeromodeler Group, an accredited caravan and motorhome site, and a cafe which serves both aviators and the general public. The airfield plays host to a number of events annually, including motoring events, model aircraft shows, various fly-ins, and of course the Aircraft Microlight trade show, which has been held at Popham for over 20 years.
Right, well that's me fed and watered. I feel a whole lot better now. Ready to face the day. So this trip to Popham, the Microlight trade show, is a trip that I've been trying to make for a number of years. Unfortunately, all my attempts so far have been thwarted, whether it be due to weather, work commitments, and COVID as well. I think it was cancelled it's certainly cancelled for 1 year, possibly even 2 for COVID, I can't remember. So anyway, this year I was determined to get there. Even more so this year, a number of you may be aware that Popham Airfield at the moment is under threat of closure. Basingstoke and Dean Borough Council have decided that they need to build some houses, and unfortunately Popham Airfield is one of the sites that's been identified as a possible location for, I think it was 1,400 houses they're looking at building. I'm not sure where we're at the moment with that, whether that's been decided. There was a consultation period that finished in March, and I don't know if any decisions have been made, but this may very well be the last Microlight trade show at Popham, so I definitely didn't want to miss it this year. While we're talking about airfields being closed for housing development, it's clearly a problem at the moment. There are airfields up and down the country that are facing closure because of housing developments. There is a petition that's doing the rounds, which is a petition for airfields to be changed from being brownfield sites to greenfield sites, which essentially means it's going to be more difficult for developers to build houses on them. I have signed that petition. I'll put a link to that petition in the description below, and I'll flash something on the screen as well. I don't know if it will make any difference, but it's going to be 2 minutes of your time. It's worth having a look at it and giving it a signature. So I'm 2 minutes out. I keep on looking into the sky. There's stuff in the air over there. I'm getting excited. I'm really looking forward to this. Well, I can see it through the bushes. I can see a load of aircraft. The question is, how do I get to it? Dumb sat nav giving me duff information. I've arrived, have I? Really? Right, I've overshot. So the Basingstoke crematorium wasn't exactly where I was hoping to end up. It's got to be this turn, it's got to be. There we go, Popham Airfield event. Must be on the right tracks. Fancy that! A BMW being driven by an idiot. Anyway, it looks like we made it. The sun has come out to greet us. Welcome to the home of the Spitfire Flying Club, and welcome to the Microlight Trade Show at Popham 2024. You watch me drop it now on the gravel. Okay, thank you very much. Park by the fence. One of the advantages of turning up on a motorbike, I guess. Right, well, I've had a good walk round. There's aircraft everywhere, fixed wing, flex wing, gyros, all manner of stuff. I couldn't even begin to count them. There's trade stands all over the place. In fact, there's everywhere you look, there's something to see. I'm not going to do any interviews, or I'm not planning to do that. I'll leave that to the likes of Giles. He's here. He's better at that sort of thing, and he knows everybody, or he seems to know everybody. So I'll leave that to him. I'm going to have a good walk round, get me bearings, and I will try and give you a flavour of what is here. Right, I am like a kid in a candy store. This is one store that I was really excited to see. The aircraft behind me is what I would love to own. You know, when you were a kid and you had a poster on your wall of a sports car, well, my poster would be this aircraft behind me, the Delta Jet. Let's go and have a look. One thing that I have noticed, and something that I was warned about, is the sheer number of people. You've got to be careful because they're everywhere. The sheer number of people that are just walking around with notepads, just jotting down aircraft registration numbers, plane spotters. Now, I'm not going to knock it, each to their own, whatever flicks your switch. Personally though, I can't see the attraction. It's not for me. Right, quick tactical change of footwear and clothing because it's blooming hot and I've walked miles. I've definitely got my steps in today, but I just wanted to walk around everywhere and try and give you a flavour of what is here. There is loads here to see. Something that has happened a few times today, which is a bit surreal, but really nice, is a few people have come up to say that they follow the channel, to say that they enjoy the video. So if you are one of those people, thanks ever so much for coming to say hello, and thanks for watching. Right, I've got the BMAA Awards. They're on at 2 o'clock. It's now 10 to, so I'm going to hot foot it over to the tent and video some of that.
We've got an air traffic controller in the audience. Please come and talk to us. This is a member association, so we decided to leave it empty for 3 weeks. So I've got this guy properly voted in with the approval of the membership for the next 3 years. Congratulations, John. His work to open and then operate Popham Airfield, always with a smile and a willingness to help, it goes to Courtney Chambers.
So I've just come out of the British Microlight Aircraft Association BMAA annual general meeting. It's the first one I've ever attended. A lot of it was technical, if I'm honest, talking about accounts and stuff like that. It went straight over my head. I'm not a financial person, but I do get the impression that the BMAA are doing a great job. If you're not a BMAA member, then I would really urge you to consider joining them. They are there to fight for our rights to fly. So it was also nice to see the award ceremony. In particular, it was nice to see Courtney Chambers of New Farm get the award for getting things done. That was nice to see. I've got a lot of time for Courtney and his family. New Farm, brilliant place to visit, although sadly its days are now over. Anyway, that's it. I'm all finished. I hope I've given you a good flavour of what's here at Popham and the Microlight Trade Show. If you've not visited, put it in your diary for next May. I think, did they say 3rd or 4th of May? And come and pay a visit. It's a brilliant day out. Hope you've enjoyed it. See you on the next one.